Hey y'all, welcome to a haul. This is my birthday through Black Friday haul. Yeah, there's some new stuff and there's a lot of new stuff here. So these are things that have been accumulating from September, just before I went into the hospital for surgery, through the Black Friday sales and all of that. I did buy some stuff. Some of this is Sephora, some of this is Amazon, some of this is indie. This is not all makeup. Some of this is skincare, some of this is hair care, some of this is fragrance. This has all been accumulating over the last 4 months. So we're going to jump into it. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. I'm an artist. I'm also neurodivergent. I'm disabled. And I'm a beauty lover and a little bit of a magpie. A lot of a magpie. In all honesty, a lot of a magpie. So we're going to start with the non-makeup stuff. We're actually going to start with the hair stuff. So Black Friday at Sephora had some really good 50% off deals. I don't normally advocate shopping Black Friday. It usually is a buy nothing day, but I do kind of shop around Black Friday. And I noticed that they had the Briogeo Scalp Reviver. This is charcoal and coconut oil. And this stuff is great. I didn't use it last night, but I use it when my hair really just needs a nice cleaning. It doesn't need to get super deep, but it does pull off buildup and it helps the softness of my hair. It's also a huge tub and it was half price. So picked one of those up. I also got the Verb Volume Dry Shampoo, not dry shampoo, Volume Dry Spray. This is not a dry shampoo. It is a texture spray with a, what's the hold? I think it's got a light to medium hold, which means that my hair is gonna last, the texture is gonna last longer without just turning into frizz, which it does pretty quickly. I've used this a couple times. I did use it today. I slept with my hair in braids and then took it out and hit it with some of this, and I'm really happy with the results. I'll have to see how this wears over the rest of the week, but so far so good. Back to the 50% off at Sephora, I bought another tube of my Dr. Jart Ceramide Cream. This is the Skin Barrier Moisture Cream. This is a lifesaver in the winter. I get dry skin. I lately have been overstimulating my skin with too many actives. So I've been just really trying to be gentle on my skin. And this is one of the things that will help rebuild my moisture barrier without overwhelming my skin. I bought some stuff on Amazon. This is from Medicube. Look, 2 of my favorite serums from Neutrogena are gone. Their glycolic and their vitamin C are both, or not the vitamin C, the niacinamide. The Neutrogena niacinamide and the Neutrogena glycolic, I can't find them. I can't find them online. I saw a Reddit post of somebody mentioning they'd been discontinued, and I was livid. So I'm looking for things to replace those in my routine, and I just finished a milky essence, and when I saw that they had one with a niacinamide, I was like, okay, I'll try it. So this is the PDRN Pink Niacinamide Toner. This is a lot thicker than the Milky Essence I just finished. It also looks a little like Pepto-Bismol. However, neither of those are bad. It doesn't smell like anything. There's no artificial fragrance. I do 2 layers of this, and all of a sudden my skin, which I can wake up in the morning with dry skin, wash my face, do a couple layers of this toner, and all of a sudden my skin is brought back to life. Throw on my sunscreen, and I'm good for the day. So I've been really enjoying this. I also have a jelly cream. This is the collagen jelly cream. These are all Korean skincare. I was mistaken when I purchased these because I thought they were from Heal, which is a Korean skincare brand that I have purchased sheet masks from before. So this is just a basic jelly cleanser or jelly cream. I have learned that I don't love how this looks under my makeup. Just gives this like artificial glowy tackiness, and it doesn't feel like the makeup ever settles into my skin. It feels like it just keeps it, it's like you're using the Milk Hydro Grip primer and it's not allowing the makeup to sink into my skin. However, as an evening product, as long as I have my hair off my face, so I tend to sleep with my hair either up in a bun or in a bonnet or in braids. I don't just go to sleep with my hair down. As long as I have my hair back, this stuff is great because it's a little sticky. This is a high maintenance product. I don't know if I'm going to buy it again, but so far I like it. And then the Medicube Deep Vita C Capsule Cream. This is another one of those that if you just showed me the inside of the jar and asked me, what is this? I would be like, that looks like some kind of food. But it's got these little capsules inside that you burst, and it literally smells. Let me see how we can do this. Yeah, there we go. It smells like a fresh orange. I know you can't smell that, but you can see how it exploded in my hand. It does smell really lovely. All right, put this on my hands and see if it makes my hands sticky. Work your skincare into your hands and arms too, especially your sunscreen. Like if you're somebody who drives a lot, imagine what your hands are doing, all of the sun that's falling on your hands as you're driving, protect your hands as well. That's nice. It's not sticky. So these Medicube products have really been kind of pushing my boundaries, and I like that. I like experimenting and experiencing new things. This is my favorite. Of the 3 Medicube products that I bought, the toner is my favorite. I had a bunch of CVS Extra Bucks that were going to expire, and I thought this was going to be thicker than it is, but this is wackadoodle. This is from CosRx. This is their Advanced Snail 92 all-in-one cream. The jar of moisturizer that I keep next to my bed, it's the Ulla Henriksen Strength Trainer. It is an all-in-one, like just throw it on my face and go to bed. Don't have the energy for anything else. I can slap that on and know that my skin is protected and it's not going to be overwhelmed with actives. I thought that this would replace that when that jar is empty. However, look at that. Look at that. It's so weird. It is gelatinous, and it's almost like an oobleck where it's like sometimes a solid, and then as soon as you pick it up, it starts stringing. It is really nicely moisturizing, but it is if you are somebody who has problems with texture, maybe avoid it. I don't know. I haven't used it by itself enough times in a row to really get a handle on how I feel about this, but it's different. It's definitely different. I also replaced my micellar water. I've already put a bunch of this in the spray bottle. I just use the Garnier. This is the Skin Active all-in-one replumping. It's got hyaluronic acid and aloe. I primarily use it for my hands and arms when I'm swatching. That's the skin and the hair care. Let us make up. Oh goodness. All right, let's start with eyeshadow palettes because I think those are the 2 of the things I am most excited about. So my birthday was in early November, and when my mom asked me what I wanted, I told her I wanted this. This is the first of the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palettes that I've actually really wanted. The other ones I have looked at, I have drooled at, I have been, isn't that pretty? Or, oh my God, I don't need that. This one, I looked at, I was like, yes, yeah, I can mess with that. And I have tried just about every shadow in here. I don't think I've tried this gray, and I don't intend to use the black. I'm gonna do something else with the black. I just don't know what, because that shadow is broken. And when I use this palette, I end up with bits of black shadow on my hand. And if I didn't just not use black shadow, if I really wanted to use that, I'd be a little bit upset, but I'm not. It's fine. The rest of this palette, the textures, oh my goodness, they're so pretty. Every shadow I have tried has surprised me. And for an 18 pan eyeshadow, for at least 16 of these pans, whether they're matte, whether it's a satin, whether it's like a really vibrant, oh God, mushy, look at that. Look at that. And then you've got some like, quote, neutral brights. This thing that looks really silver and gray, beautiful topper. The mattes are so soft, and they're not too pigmented, that they build nicely. And I'm sure everyone's seen this, but if you've been around a minute, you know how much I love modular makeup. And this palette is just the height. This is what I mean. I get black eyeshadow everywhere. Yeah, this palette is just like the upper echelon of modular friendly makeup. Each of these 3/6 pans pop out, they stack. I don't even know if this is still available, but I just need to nerd out about it because I am thrilled. So you can take any of the 6 pans if you're traveling. These also fit my Cliona shadows. So if I don't want to take any of these, I can just pop one out and put a Cliona shadow in there. Nerd. So then you have the lid, which is also a mirror, and it just magnetically, and it has a little pouch. It has a little pouch that you open, and you can slide the entire palette in there. And then there's more. Wait, there's more. You then have this gigantic magnetic palette surface that you can fill with your own magnetic pans. Oh my God. This is thrilling for me. This is absolutely thrilling. I'm wiping black eyeshadow off the inside of this palette. And oh, that's where it's coming from. It's stuck to the magnet. This black pigment, it must be iron oxide or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about makeup formulation, but it feels like it's magnetic. It feels like it sticks to magnets. And then this just closes, and you can use this as a magnetic palette on its own. Seriously. I am thrilled about this palette. The formulas, the way it's designed, the color stories, even the blues. Like, I looked at that, I was like, maybe I won't use that blue trio very much. I've used it and they are beautiful. So that has just absolutely tickled my pickle in ways I cannot explain. On the other side of the coin, I have the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Natural palette. This is actually what I'm wearing today. I've got a couple of these mattes just in my crease, and this beautiful burgundy all over my eyes. I have had a hard time making looks with this palette and not throwing this on top just because it's so pretty. I like the other shadows. I like the looks I make with them, but I look at that burgundy and I'm like, I want to use you too. I don't remember the last time I was this excited about a really boring palette, and on the other side of the coin, really amped up about something colorful and rich. And it's nice to have that contrast. It really is. I'm excited. So I do have some new base products. This is the Tom Ford Traceless Matte Foundation in 0.5 porcelain. I bought this secondhand. Normally I would tell y'all, if you're looking to buy a foundation secondhand, the first thing you want to look at is the packaging, accessibility wise. And by that I mean, how is it possible for someone to contaminate this just by using it? Because we do have different bacteria, and what's on my face may transfer to somebody else through something like this. Even if it says it's non-comedogenic, you can still get breakouts and stuff. So this isn't an airless pump, meaning that you twist it open, you pump it out, and as you do, this base rises and you don't have access to the rest of the product. Versus something like my About Face foundation, where you pop it open and there's a giant dough foot, and there is the possibility of contaminating the entire inside of this. So this is a kind of packaging. I won't shirk from buying something like this secondhand, and I'm so glad I did, because look at my face. It has the prettiest texture. It's got just a lovely level of coverage. It's lightweight, it's hydrating. I take it off and my skin feels like it's been nourished all day. I don't know how it does that. It's magic. I then have the Lancôme Teint Idole in 090. This was on sale at Ulta, so I did not buy this secondhand, but I did buy it half price. And for me, it's a really good shade match. I put this on first on my under eyes, and then I built the Tom Ford around it, because around my eyes is the place I need most of my coverage. And then I just want to even out my skin tone, cover a little bit of redness. I don't have many blemishes or scars, so I don't necessarily need something that's full cover matte mask-like foundation. This is perfect. I also have this guy. I bought into the hype. That's the word I'm looking for. I bought into the hype. I was like, all right, this is a mini. It's half the price of like the full size. I'll try it. And it says it's a matte foundation, and it truly is a matte foundation, to the point where I put it on and it kind of crackles around my dry skin. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not wearing that out. However, the skin tone match is really good. And I have been using it when I'm at home and I'm playing with particularly cheek products, because it allows me to go in and just completely cover everything and start from scratch. That's how I'll use it. I don't advise this for people with dry skin, especially if you're over like 35, 40. If you're at the point where you're starting to have fine lines, wrinkles, this will settle into all of them and just make them stand out. Now we're moving on to cheek products. So this is a category I have a hard time saying no to. So I have 5 cream cheek products. 2 of these are samples from Sephora. So one is the Say Dewy Skin Goo, and the other is the Niacinamide Hue Drops from Glow Recipe. I feel like this is something that I will really come to terms with in the warmer weather. I have used it a couple times, but it just doesn't seem to mesh with the makeup I'm doing now for the super dry weather, which, understanding this has niacinamide in it, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I'm doing my makeup recently. These will probably come in really handy in the summer. By the way, guys, in my link tree, I have a list. I have a link to an Amazon list that's just like all the things I love. So if you're looking for the rags or anything else, it should be in there. If it's not, let me know and I'll add it. Excuse you. New Rare Beauty mini. This is in Charm. I was ordering something from Sephora and they were like, oh, you've got points, you want to use those? And I was like, yeah, sure, I could use $10 off. And they're like, well, now you have to pay an extra $6 for shipping. Screw it, I'm just gonna get a small blush because I don't like paying for shipping. And this color is phenomenal. phenomenal. Yeah, it is this bright corally orange. I'm looking forward to warmer weather, and once I stop evaluating the other cheek products that I have that I'll talk about in a minute, I'll start wearing something a little warmer. I have been wanting to get my hands on one of these for a while. This is the Cream Glow Cream Shadow from Make Beauty in the shade Euphoric. Look at that color. I am still figuring out how I feel about this. It's very vibrant. You can not use as much as I just put on my hand, but it just doesn't feel like it blends out as nicely as I would like it to. I'm still in the evaluation process. I will keep testing it under different circumstances, different foundations, over creams, over powders, powdering it, not powdering it, see if it adapts to any of those situations. I did finally get my hands on one of the Rhode Pocket blushes. This is in Tan Lines, and it is, surprise, a pinky beige. This one I really like. I love how lightly these blend out. They've got a nice sheen to them. It's a nice little blush. We'll see how this compares to all of my other pinky beige blushes come my next round of blush comparisons and declutters. While we're talking about cream formulations, we need to talk about these 7 blushes from Salt New York and Hannah Louise Poston, and I love them all. They test my boundaries. They really did kind of push me outside of my comfort zone, and I had to pull it back in just because my makeup did not look quite right today. I've got a little bit of a mauve blush on top of Orchid and Corduroy. So those are the 2 that I used today. They're separated because they're the ones that I hadn't really had a chance to play with. They're all so pretty. I don't think my lips love this formula. I put a little bit of this on my lips and they just start peeling. And I don't know why. I am loving these blushes. They're so grungy. They're so neutral. They're warm. They're cool. They're different from anything else I've experienced on the market. These are fabulous. They're so pretty. Oh, I have not been able to stop reaching for them. Okay, I have a couple of powder cheek products along with the Make Cream Stroke blush. I got one of their Skin Mimetic Micro Suede bronzers. I have one in Lunar. It is my favorite summertime, really sun-kissed bronze. This is the opposite. This is neutral, it's pale, it's desaturated, it's not too rosy, and it's not too orange. So these 2 blushes, one of these is the same formula. This is Lunar, nice and orange. And this is the Gucci bronzer in shade 01, nice and rosy. So on the top there is Gucci, on the bottom is Make Beauty. This is called Full Moon, and I'm dropping things. So you can see by comparison, just in a single finger swatch, how neutral and how desaturated that tone really is. And I think it's beautiful. I'm wearing it today. It is just the absolute perfect cold weather bronze for me. I find with my forehead shape and the just shape of my face, if I'm just wearing blush and maybe eye makeup, I still need to bring my forehead in line with everything else. It just looks strange if I'm not wearing any bronzer. And this is just the absolute perfect. I don't want to commit to a color. I just need something to work. On the other side of that, I bought this one secondhand. This is a Westman Atelier blush duo in Coquette and Mimi. So Coquette is a little bit more red of a bronzer than I am used to. I have discovered that this bronzer is a little streaky. I have to make sure that I apply it over powder which I don't love. I don't always want to powder my forehead. I usually just powder the inner portion, like just between my eyes. And Mimi is just such a beautiful desaturated blush. It's gorgeous. Overall, the handful of times I've used this, I've liked it. I haven't really gotten a whole lot of time with it alone. So I will have to do that. This is not a review. This is more of a haul, but with some first impressions. I have a few brow products here. I have been trying to like push the boundaries of what I like in my brows. I'm going gray, so my hair is much cooler toned, but I still have a lot of contrast. And I want my brows to live up to that, to stand up to that contrast. So I picked up, again, from Make Beauty, I placed one order that had the bronzer, the blush, and 2 brow products. The Infinite Hold Sculpting Tint. I love this stuff. I love that it is a nice, big, heavy tube. If you are familiar with their mascara, it is also a really heavy, chunky tube. So it feels substantial. I guess it's fine that most mascara products are smaller, but this being the color that it is and the size that it is, it's going to be really difficult to lose. I bought a pencil from them, and unfortunately, it's a bit too warm. I haven't really mentioned sending it back. It's also a micro tip, and it breaks at the drop of a hat. So that is the swatch. And if I put this in my brows, it just looks like I'm wearing a brow product that's too red. It looks really red against my really cool toned brows. Another brow product I picked up, this is from Bobbi Brown. Oh, it's the Precision Brow Pencil in Neutral Brown. Neutral's great. I love neutral. This isn't neutral. It's slightly cooler toned, but it's also green. It's green. Doesn't really work in my brows. Something that does work, which I'm not so happy about, the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP. I have to be really careful if I want to use this because I have to pop it open. And if I'm not careful, the entire pencil will just fall out. I don't love that. I don't love that, especially considering it's a brand new product and it's such a fine pencil. I'm sure like it can break. I can break off more than half of it, and yeah. But both the Bobbi Brown and the Fenty, as well as my favorite clear brow gel, which is from Anastasia, these were all half off. So I said, okay, I love a deal. These are things that I'm actually out of. I finished my Merit pencil. I finished my Merit brow gel. We can talk about those in my empties. So I wanted to try some new stuff. And the Bobbi Brown and the Make Beauty have kind of disappointed me as far as the colors go. With the colors being so off, I really haven't tried the formula. I do like the formula of the Fenty. I feel like I can go through the front of my brows and get some nice brow strokes. But the brows, it's still a journey. But I did find a brow routine that I really like that's different from what I've been doing. Okay, lips. Is that all that's left? Oh no, one more eye product. This is the Merit Solo Shadow Sheen. I love that they call these a sheen because it's honest marketing. Like it's a lovely glow. This is the shade Glacé. In the pictures online, it looks icy pink. On me, it just looks like a beautiful champagne. That's what I like. That's what I wanted. And all of the other colors just looked too yellow, too warm. I tend to go for cooler tones these days. And I like this a lot. All right, we got some lip stuff to talk about. I got my birthday present, my little birthday gift from Sephora. I went with one of the Mario pumping lip serums. It also comes with a pencil. And despite the fact that they're minis, I mentioned in that minis tend to get lost around me. They're just hard to keep track of amongst all of my other full-size lip products. I'd heard such good things about this formula. It just shears out. You can really spread it out and get it nice and thin. So it's just this little plumping serum, doesn't seem to have too much presence. Because my lips already have a lot of pigmentation, if I really shear this out, you can barely tell I'm wearing it. And it's so far, I enjoy it. The liner is nice. It's creamy. It doesn't break. It builds up nicely. It does sheer. It does blur and blend, but you have to work fast. We're almost done. I promise. We're so close. I picked up the Merit Archival Lip Trio because I was A, curious about the lip pencil formula, B, always up for one of these Shade Slick lip oils. Gorgeous color, cool toned mauve, a little bit more pink than what I'm wearing today. Love this formula. Love the formula. The lipstick I've got a little bit of a beef with, and I think it's the fact that they put a formula. This is a lip blush. This is not their matte lipstick. This is not their like sheeny original lipstick formula. This is a lot softer. It's really pretty, but when I got mine, the bullet immediately dispatched itself from the tube. So again, I have to be really careful and very ginger with it, and I don't like that. So I have to like smash in the tip of the lipstick to even remotely try to get it back in and back secure. You can see I just broke off a chunk of the lipstick trying to make sure that it's secured back in the tube. So I like this product. I just feel like their traditional lipstick packaging is not the best way to go for this soft of a formula. I have two more and then we're done. So this is the Ole Henriksen Pout Perfecting Plumping Lip Treatment. This is in the orange creamsicle flavor. This is their OG. I like it very muchly. I like it very much. It's really pretty. Oh, it feels so nice, and it's nice to wake up in the morning and get my tea, get some breakfast, and then come in and put this on my lips. It's like I'm drinking orange juice or something. It's just so good. It's nice. It's nice. All right. Last thing is a fragrance, and this is from Fleur. Fleur has become my go-to fragrance house. I have finished several of their fragrances. I finished Father Figure. I finished a tube of Apricot Privé. Those are both the travel sizes. I really like a travel size versus a full-size perfume because a full size scares me. I don't know that I've ever actually finished a full-size perfume. So a full size scares me, but a mini makes me really happy. And this is the body spray in Vanilla Nectar. It is a lovely midpoint between their Vanilla Skin and Apricot Privé, which is my favorite perfume. It's a little citrus, it's a little sweet, it's got those grounded vanilla notes, but it's not too deep and too rich. The little more light, again, it's got those bright citrusy notes. I'm not very good at explaining fragrance. It's not where I live. I've been just layering this on, and every time I sit down here, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put on my body spray. It's so nice. So what was the point of this haul? It's to show you all what is going to be coming up in, get ready with me and review videos over the next year or so. I don't do hauls this big very often. The last time I did one of these was 2 years ago, and that was when I first started my channel. And I'd also gotten a lot of birthday money, so it went towards beauty products, because why not? I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have experience with any of these, leave them down below. I'm always curious as to what y'all think of things that I am working my way through. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. be gentle. It's a tough time of year for a lot of people. So I will see you all in my next one. Bye, friends.